Hey guys, Teacher Daniel here. For today's video, pag-aaralan naman natin yung mga basics ng probability. Specifically, I'm going to share with you yung tinatawag nating experiment, outcome, sample space, at saka event. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng mga yan? And hopefully, at the end of this video, ma-share ko din sa inyo kung paano mag-count, paano bilangin yung number of occurrences in a certain or number of outcome in a certain experiment. At maraming paraan to do that. We could use table, we could use tree diagram, we could also use systematic listing, and the last but not the least is we can make use of the so-called the fundamental counting principles. So, bago natin pag-aralan kung paano magbilang ng outcomes in a certain experiment, buti pa pag-aralan muna natin yung mga terms na ginagamit sa probability. Basically, those are yung tinatawag natin experiment, outcome, sample space, at saka event. So, what is an experiment? In probability, when we say or when we refer to experiment, it refers to any situational activity that involves chance, either by making observations or taking measurements. Ang kadalasan example dito, yung mga may kinalaman sa mga sugal o kaya may mga kinalaman sa mga laro sa peryahan. So say for instance, siguro naman familiar kayo dun sa tinatawag na Caracruz, Ang pinagkaiba lang kasi dun sa Caracruz talaga, yung totoong Caracruz, 3 yung bariyang ginagamit. So dito, ang gagawin natin, babawasan lang natin ng isa just to make things much simpler for you to understand. Ayan. So ipagpalagay natin na we have 2 coins and we're going to toss using 2 coins. So in this case, ang experiment natin ay may kinalaman sa tossing 2 coins. Ganun lang po kasimple 'yon. Ano naman pagka sinabing outcome? Ano naman yung tinatawag na outcome? When we say outcome, it refers to any possible results of an experiment. Yung naibigay nating example kanina, that is tossing 2 coins, pwede tayong makapagbigay ng outcome. Say for instance, inisa-isa nating ihagis yung coin. Hindi natin pinagsabay-sabay, isa-isa lang. Kasi dalawa yung coins natin, so we are going to toss those coins, pero one by one. So in tossing a coin, one of a sample outcome, yung pwedeng maging result, marami naman siyang pwedeng maging result. Pwedeng maging head at saka head, or yung tinatawag natin sa layman na hari, tapos hari. Ayan. In this case, pwedeng lumabas siya head or tail, tail or head, or tail or tail. And for this example alone, kunyari ang lumabas is head, and a tail. Okay. So paghagis natin ng unang barya, head yung lumabas. At pagkahagis natin ng pangalawang barya, ang lumabas naman yung tail. O yung tinatawag natin sa layman na patay, hari at saka patay. So to describe a sample outcome from this experiment, tossing 2 coins, pero pa isa-isa we can say that a sample outcome or one of the sample outcome for this experiment alone is a head and a tail, or that is denoted in math, usually it is denoted by HT. Yan. Ano naman yung tinatawag nating sample space? When we say sample space, it refers to the complete list of all possible outcomes of an experiment. Nabanggit ko na rin kanina yung lahat ng nabanggit ko na lahat ng possible outcomes kanina. In tossing two coins, we could make use of a diagram kamukha nito, wherein sineperate natin yung pag-toss. Hindi natin pinagsabay, instead inisa-isa natin. Bakit natin kailangan isa-isahin? Para makita talaga natin kung ano yung lalabas from the first coin at saka dun sa pangalawang coin. So say for instance, ang lumabas sa first coin, ang lumabas sa first coin is head. On the second toss, it's either ang lalabas is head or ang lalabas is tail. Ito po. So, it's either sa first toss natin, head, tapos sa second toss natin, head, or pwede ring tail. O kung halimbawa, yung lumabas naman sa first toss natin is tail, pwede rin natin siyang mapartneran ng either head or tail. So, these are the possible outcomes. Ito yung list ng lahat ng possible outcomes in this kind of experiment, tossing two coins. Head, tail, tail, head, at saka tail, tail. Yan. Eh, ano naman yung tinatawag na event? So, when we refer to event simply means a subset of sample space. So, paano ba pinapakita yung event? Again, in our example, tossing two coins. Meron tayong dalawang event. Yan. Kasi dalawa yung coin natin, di po ba? Dalawa yung coin natin. So, yung first event natin has something to do with tossing our first coin. At saka yung first event natin, meron siyang dalawang outcome. Kasi barya lang naman yan. So, it's either hari or patay. Or tinatawag natin head or tail. And on the another event, the other event is also tossing another coin. Na meron din siyang dalawang outcome. That is head or tail. To sum up, in tossing two coins, our experiment has something to do with tossing two coins, of course. Kasi yun lang naman yung experiment na meron tayo today. We are going to toss two coins. Pero, see to it na isa-isa para makita talaga natin yung mga possible outcomes or mga possible results. We can give a sample outcome. Example, isa sa mga halimbawa dun is isang head at saka isang tail. Yung sample space naman natin, meaning yung list ng lahat ng pwedeng maging outcome para sa experiment na to, our sample space is head, meaning hari, tapos hari na naman. Head at saka tail, hari at saka patay. Tail, head, patay, tapos hari, and then tail, tail. All in all, we have 4 elements in our sample space. And the number of event in our experiment, we have 2 events. That is, tossing our first coin, ito po yun, tossing our first coin na merong dalawang outcome, head or tail, and then tossing our second coin na meron ding dalawang outcome, head or tail. So let us have another example. Let's say we want to draw a pair from a standard deck of cards. Oh, by the way, mga langga, pag sinabing standard deck of cards, meaning all in all 52 yun. Bakit 52? Oh, isipin nyo na lang. Alas, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Gs. Tapos meron pang jack, tapos meron pang queen, tapos meron pang king. So all in all, kung bilangin natin yon, yung set ng cards na yon, all in all 13 yon. meron tayong apat na suta. So, meron tayong, yung kung sa atin pa, no? Meron tayong flower, meron tayong spade, meron tayong heart, tapos meron tayong diamond. So 4 times 13. A set of cards is from ace to king. Tapos with 4 suit, that is 13 times 4, all in all, sa barahan natin, we have 52. Hindi kasama dun yung dalawang joker. Okay po, nagkakaintindihan po tayo. Kaya whenever we refer to an standard deck, wag nating isama yung joker tapos yung iba pang klase ng card. Yung normal card lang from an ace alas up to king. At saka 4 na suit. Flower or sa ibang bansa pa tinatawag nilang club, spade, heart, and diamond. Now, for this experiment, we are going to draw a pair. O sa layman pa natin, par, yung tinatawag nating par, meaning pares ng card. Bubunot tayo ng card. 2. It's up to you kung isipin nyo na sabay bubunutin yung 2 card or pwedeng pa isa-isa. Pero pag pinaisa-isa nating bubunutin, kailangan hindi mo ibabalik yung binunot mo na. Yan So let us set to that. Let us set to that agreement na kung paisa-isa mo siyang bubunutin, hindi mo siya ibabalik. Bubunot ka ulit ng pangalawang card mo without returning your first card, or for simplicity, bubunot ka ng 2 card to make a pair. Now, what is the experiment all about? The experiment has something to do with, of course, drawing a pair from a deck of cards. 2 baraha sa standard deck. Now, can you give a sample outcome? Maraming sample outcome. Pwedeng 2 alas, yung isa flower or club, yung isa naman alas din pero diamond naman this time. So there are a lot of sample outcome for this experiment alone. So let us try to give a specific sample outcome. So in the picture, you can see a king of spade at saka ace of spade. Pares ng baraha, A king of spade and ace of spade. Yan. However, yung sample space natin, masyadong marami, masyadong malaki. And kung isusulat ko lahat ng element natin sa sample space for this experiment, baka mapuno yung ating screen. So, ang ginagawa ng mga mathematicians, sinisimplify na lang nila. Instead, binibigay na lang kung ilang element meron sa sample space. Tandaan nyo, So, all in all, imagine, ang laki pala. Imagine, we have about 2,652 element for this sample space alone, for this experiment, drawing a pair of cards. Ibig sabihin, there are 2,652 combination of pair of cards if you're going to draw a pair from an standard deck. Now, how many events do we have, and what are those events? Ang ginagawa naman ng mga mathematicians, we separate the 2 event. Our first event, katulad nung nabanggit ko na kanina, nung pinaisa-isa natin, our first event is of course drawing our first card from, take note, from a standard deck. Nung unang bunot mo pa lang, kung binunot mo siya isa-isa, unang bunot mo pa lang, kompleto pa yung standard deck, 52. Tapos, hindi mo siya ibabalik, then you're going to draw another card, and that is our second event. To make everything simple, our first event is drawing a card, and our second event is also drawing a card. But this time, instead of standard deck, kasi nabawasan na nung unang bunot mo, ilan na lang yung ilan na lang bale yung pwede mong mapagpilian on your on your second draw. So, on your second draw, meron ka na lang 51 cards. So, sa una, 52 cards yung pwede mong pagpilian. Sa pangalawang bunot mo, 51 na lang. And actually, 52 times 51 is equivalent to 2,652. Baka kasi magtanong kayo saan natin nakuha yung number na yan. Because we multiplied 52 and 51. Meaning there are 2,652 combinations of pair of cards from a standard deck. If we're going to draw our first card on our first event at hindi na ibabalik, and then we are going to draw another card without returning those cards. So this time, kayo naman po. I'm going to give you two sets of exercises. The first exercise that you're going to have, it has something to do with rolling two die. By the way, pagka sinabing dice, plural yun ha. Maraming dice. O pagka isa lang, die. O, rolling two die. And for your second exercise is ito very common to. Lagi-lagi nyo itong nakikita sa mga peryahan. Yung tinatawag nating color game. And usually, pag color game, tatlo yung blocks na may mga iba't ibang kulay. Tapos, diba, tumataya sila doon. Tinatayaan nila yung colors. Pagka tumaya sila sa isang color, bawa piso, mananalo sila ng another 1 peso. Pagka lumabas yung kulay nila in one of the blocks. Merong tatlo. So, ibig sabihin pala, pag tumaya ka ng piso at lumabas yung tatlong kulay, mananalo ka ng 3 pesos. Okay.